Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in the last video we talked about the widgets utility in the Databricks and how we can create the widgets and how basically we can use the widgets within a specific notebook, right? But now let's see how we can call this notebook with some other notebook, right? The chaining of notebook which we talked about. So let me create one notebook here. Let's say it's a child notebook or something. So I'll be creating this notebook, child notebook, and via this notebook, child notebook, I will be calling this widget notebook. So, so to call any notebook in another notebook, there is a utility called notebook utility, notebook workflow utility. So let's see first using the help function, like what all methods we have in this notebook utility. So if you see here, we have two functions, one is run and one is exit. So run is basically used to run or to call any other notebook in using this notebook. Okay. So I'll use run notebook and I'll pass the path. So if you take a look, we can pass three parameters. First one is the path. The second one is the timeout. If you are not able to run this particular notebook or call this notebook, for which we are providing the path, then it will give you an error, the timeout error. And the third one, if you wanted to pass some parameters. So if you see in the widget utility, we have different type of parameters like text box, drop down, combo box, and others, right? So see, if you wanted to call this notebook, the widget utility, you need a path, right? So I'll be copying this path and I'll put it here. And I'll say like 20 is the timeout time. Okay, let's run this notebook. Now, as soon as I'll run this notebook, it will start calling out this, run this cell, this command basically. It will call this notebook and start running out it, running all these cells one by one, right? These cells one by one. And in the end, it will give you an output. Okay. So let's take a look. So if you see here, we got the output. And in the output, we are getting boys, girls, Samsung, and blank value. So if you see here, uh, we have some default values, right? So let me run this code. So I'll show you using this job, right? The job which has been ran. So if you see in the job, let's check the default values. These values are changed actually here. So let's see the default value in the job run. So if you see here, the default value is blank, Samsung, boys and girls, right? And that's what we are getting now. So now let's see how we can call any notebook with the help of parameters, right? How we can pass parameters. So to pass the parameter, you can use curly braces and you need to pass the name of the uh, widget. So basically, let's say in our case, let's say drop down. Okay. And the value, let's say value of this drop down is, let's say I wanted to run it for Apple. Okay. As of now, if you see here, we are getting Samsung, right? But I want this to be run specifically for Apple. So let's run it and see what output we will be getting. And in the same way, you can run it for different parameters as well. I'm just trying to call it in different parameters. It is up to you. You can pass all the parameters here as well, but I'm calling it out in a different parameters in a different section. So if you see here, the drop down result, earlier it was Samsung by default, and when I'm passing it as an Apple, it is showing me as an Apple. Okay. In the same way, you can use it for others as well. Let's say multi-select or something. Okay. In the multi-select, let's say I want to pass Sham. I can do like this. Okay. And if I run it, it will again rerun that notebook with this particular parameter. Yeah. So if you see here, we are getting the value as Sham In the same way, you can pass for text as well. So it is up to you if you wanted to pass all the parameters or one parameter, or maybe you wanted to parameterize, or you wanted to get some parameter with the help of text box or something, right? So it is up to you entirely. So I'll pass it as test. As of now, it's blank, and now you will see it will show me test. So this method is basically used to call another notebook, right? And it will give you the desired results. And if you see here, I have used one more command, that is exit, right? So exit is a command basically in the notebook which will pass, or which will give you the value after running the notebook, right? That should be the last statement in your notebook. So if you see here in the widget utility, we have this statement as in last. And if I pass any statement after this statement, let's say, okay, sorry, and let's rerun our code now and try to run it. So see, ideally my notebook should be end here, right? But I'm keeping some more commands in it. When I'm calling this particular notebook again, and when I'll go in this notebook, let's see what will happen for that particular command which ran, or which we have kept after the exit. So if you see here, after exit, whatever we have written, it will be skipped. So while calling the notebook, it will run the command till the point we have dbutils notebook.exit command. So this is how basically you can use notebook run and notebook utility basically in the Databricks. So thank you. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it will help you guys.